What was your experience with criminal law?
All right. Well, when I was 18, I was walking home with my boyfriend, and we were pulled over by the police for questioning about certain incidences. They were asking us what we were doing, and we had just left Pete's Pizza. So, me being 18 and scared, I thought I could outrun the law, but obviously not. I knew I couldn't get very far, so I was put in handcuffs and was going to be arrested. While they were walking me back, one of the police officers, a male who was huge, turned around and punched me very hard in my face, and the other police officer was holding me. And that's when I lost it, and I started getting very verbally aggressive because I was just punched in my face while handcuffed. By the time we got back to where my boyfriend was, who was being questioned by the police, he was getting arrested. There was about 5 other cop cars there. And I knew this was wrong, so I asked the police officer to give me his badge number because I was going to report it. And I was moved from cop car to cop car to cop car to cop car. And so I was very confused. I didn't know what the guy looked like. I had different police officers coming up and talking to me. By the end of it, I just kept asking every single police officer that was involved, I want that badge number, I want the badge number, I want the badge number. So finally I was moved to the last cop car, and I was in hysterics, obviously. And there was one nice police officer, and he had asked, Samantha, what do you want to do? I said, well, look at my fucking face. What do you think I want to do? And I was like, I want this man's badge number right now. And he was like, okay, well, do you want to go to the hospital? He kept brushing it off. He's like, do you want to go to the hospital, or would you like to go home? And I was like, well, take me home because I don't want to deal with you guys anymore. So I was driven home and dropped off at home, and I woke my dad up, and my dad looked at me and was very shocked, and that's when, I told my dad what happened. So he went down to the station to figure out what went on, why we were pulled over in the first place. My boyfriend spent the night in jail. His experience was awful. He was wearing a Big Pun, Big O, some rapper on his t-shirt, and they started calling him the N-word and told him to get into his cell. If he wants to act like an N-word, he can be treated like one. He was pushed in.
Is this the police officers acting like that?
Mm-hmm. At the station. And so he was released in the morning. My dad went down to ask what happened because he had a friend that worked at the station. And basically they said that we did a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't do. And it was reported that we were throwing bottles into the road and doing all this stuff when we weren't. We were walking home. So my boyfriend had to get a lawyer to get his charges dropped. They tried to pin him with a whole bunch of stuff saying that he stole a car from Brampton or something, or I don't know. So it was just very out of hand. So anyways, when my dad came home and told me what had been reported, we took pictures of my face. I went to the hospital, just have it documented, just to make sure everything was okay. And that's it. I didn't pursue anything because I've always been told that if you do, then things are going to get worse for you.
So how do you feel about your experience? Do you think it was a positive one, a negative one?
Obviously it was negative because I was beat up by a cop. But I'd like to say it's positive though too, but I guess not really, because now I act different in front of police. I get huge anxiety. I don't like dealing with them because they scare me. I know that not all of them are bad, but still. I think just now, in society, though, too, my dad always tells me now, Sam, just say yes sir, no sir, yes sir, no sir, whatever, and it just gets to you because you have to oblige, even though that these people can beat you up and get away with it.
Are you glad that you didn't, or do you wish you had have accessed the system and maybe pursued a little bit more, like the day after, like after the incident?
I do and I don't. Like, I wish there was just more resources at the time for myself to figure out what options I did have because, yeah, because basically it was left at that, and now I have a phobia of police. But at the same time, you don't ever want to file a report against a police officer because then it just makes your life harder.
Yeah.
And you're basically, you have a spotlight on you wherever you go and whatever you do, you know? So, I don't know. But yeah, that's my story with criminal law.
Awesome. Thanks.